Welcome! In this video we'll show you what we did in our 4 days in Romania. We'll spend day 1 taking the train out to see 2 famous castles and the medieval town of Brașov. Then we'll cover 2 days walking around in Bucharest, and finally Cecilia runs in the Bucharest International Half Marathon before we head to the airport. Our day started bright and early at Bucharest's Gara de Nord train station. We boarded the 6 a.m. train for the beautiful mountain town of Sinaia. Even though it was an early start, the comfortable ride through the Romanian countryside made waking up real early worthwhile. As the city faded behind us, the scenery transformed into rolling hills, forests, and eventually the spectacular Carpathian Mountains. After about 2 hours, we arrived in Sinaia around 8 a.m., giving us plenty of time before our scheduled castle tour. From the train station, it's an enjoyable uphill walk up to the main street. Cafes were supposed to be open at this time, but none of them were quite open yet. After half an hour walking around, we finally found a place to get coffee and a croissant and quiche. Although you could walk about a mile uphill from Sinaia to Peleş Castle, we took Bolt, a rideshare service like Uber, up through peaceful streets lined with beautiful homes and hotels until we reached one of Europe's most breathtaking castles. Peleş Castle almost looks like something straight out of a fairy tale, surrounded by forests, with the Carpathian Mountains rising behind it. We had tickets for the 9:15 entry group, which gave us a little time to admire the castle grounds and take photos before heading inside. We chose the self-guided tour, allowing us to explore each magnificent room at our own pace. Private guided tours are also available. Every room feels completely different, showcasing architectural styles from across Europe and beyond. The intricate carved wood ceilings, stained glass windows, lavish royal apartments, grand staircases, armor collections, and beautifully decorated halls make this one of the most impressive castles we've ever visited. It's easy to understand why Peleş Castle is often considered one of the most beautiful castles anywhere in Europe. Construction of Peleş Castle began in 1873 under King Carol I of Romania. The castle served as the royal family's summer residence and quickly became a symbol of Romania's growing independence and prosperity. Unlike medieval castles built primarily for defense, Peleş was designed as a luxurious royal palace with every modern convenience available at the time. It became one of the first castles in Europe with central heating, electricity generated on site, running water, elevators, and even a central vacuum system. Remarkable innovations for the late 1800s. Today, Peleş Castle is one of Romania's most treasured landmarks and operates as a museum welcoming visitors from around the world. The castle sits on what was once a 2,500-acre royal estate nestled in the foothills of the Carpathian Mountains. King Carol I chose this location because he fell in love with the area's cool mountain climate, dense forests, and breathtaking scenery. The terraces are decorated with marble statues, ornate fountains, carved stone urns, lion sculptures, grand staircases, and colorful seasonal flower beds. These Italian Renaissance-inspired gardens were carefully designed to create a seamless transition from the royal palace into the surrounding forest. We had pre-ordered a private car from Day Trip, so after finishing our tour around 10:45, we headed out for the drive to Bran Castle. There are no trains or buses that go from Peleş Castle to Bran Castle. We could have taken Bolt, but it was recommended that we pre-order a car so that it's available and ready when we were, instead of hoping that there'd be a Bolt driver available on our time frame. Our driver met us outside the castle entrance. The journey took about just over an hour through picturesque mountain roads, charming villages, and stunning countryside. This drive alone is worth experiencing, offering incredible views of the Romanian landscape. We arrived at Bran Castle with enough time to check in before our 12:30 admission. Perched dramatically on top of a rocky hill, Bran Castle certainly creates a striking first impression. The castle's narrow towers, stone walls, and commanding location make it look exactly how many people imagine a medieval fortress. Like Peleş Castle, we explored Bran Castle using the self-guided tour. Inside, you'll discover winding staircases, narrow passageways, hidden corridors, medieval rooms, royal apartments, towers, balconies, and breathtaking views overlooking the surrounding mountain. Compared to Peleş Castle, Bran Castle is noticeably smaller. While Peleş impresses with luxury, elegance, and royal grandeur, Bran Castle offers a more intimate medieval atmosphere full of mystery and legend. Each castle offers a completely different experience, making it well worth visiting both on the same day. Bran Castle was originally built in 1377 by the Saxons of Brașov to help defend an important mountain pass between Transylvania and Wallachia. Over the centuries, it served as a military fortress, customs checkpoint, and royal residence. Although often called Dracula's Castle, there's very little historical evidence that Vlad the Impaler, the historical figure associated with Dracula, ever lived here. The connection comes primarily from Bram Stoker's famous novel, even though the author never actually visited Romania. In the 20th century, Bran Castle became the famous residence of Queen Marie of Romania, who transformed its interior into a warm and elegant royal home. Today, it remains one of Romania's most visited attractions. No visit to Bran Castle would be complete without talking about its most famous resident, Dracula. Around the world, Bran Castle is widely known as Dracula's Castle, but the real story is much more interesting than the legend. The Dracula character was created by Irish author Bram Stoker in his 1897 novel, Dracula. Stoker described the mysterious castle perched high on the rocky hill in Transylvania, but he never visited Romania himself. While the castle in his novel isn't an exact match for Bran Castle, its dramatic appearance has made it the perfect real-life symbol of Dracula in the minds of millions of visitors. The historical figure who inspired parts of Dracula was Vlad III, better known as Vlad the Impaler. He ruled Wallachia, just south of Transylvania, in the 1400s and became infamous for his brutal punishments of his enemies. His father belonged to the Order of the Dragon, earning the family the name Dracul, which means dragon. Vlad became known as Dracula, meaning son of Dracul. Here's where history and legend separate. There's no solid historical evidence that Vlad the Impaler ever lived at Bran Castle. Some historians believe he may have passed through the area or may have been briefly imprisoned nearby, but there's no proof that Bran Castle was ever his home. So why is Bran Castle called Dracula's Castle today? The answer is simple. It looks exactly like what people imagine a vampire's castle should look like. Sitting high on a rocky hill with stone towers, narrow staircases, hidden passageways, and medieval architecture, Bran Castle perfectly matches the atmosphere people expect from the Dracula story. Today, the castle fully embraces its connection to the famous novel. Throughout the grounds and nearby village, you'll find Dracula-themed souvenirs, vampire memorabilia, costumes, books, artwork, Halloween decorations, and plenty of photo opportunities designed especially for tourists. While these displays are a fun part of the experience, it's important to remember that they're primarily part of Romania's tourism industry rather than its documented history. The real Bran Castle is fascinating enough on its own, a medieval fortress with more than 600 years of history, once protecting an important mountain pass and later serving as a beloved royal residence for Queen Marie of Romania. Whether you come for the Dracula legend or the authentic history, Bran Castle offers a memorable experience that combines medieval architecture, royal heritage, and one of literature's most enduring myths. We didn't have time to visit other places in the area since we scheduled to be at Peleş Castle and Bran Castle by certain times. But before leaving Sinaia, one thing you could see is the Sinaia Monastery. It was founded in 1695. This peaceful Orthodox monastery actually gave the town of Sinaia its name and remains an active place of worship today. Its beautiful frescoes and tranquil courtyards make it a wonderful complement to your visit to Peleş Castle. Also, if you have a little extra time after Bran Castle, check out Râșnov Fortress, located just 20 minutes from Bran Castle. Dating back to the 13th century, this hilltop fortress was built by the Teutonic Knights to protect local villagers from invading armies. Another spectacular castle worth visiting is Cantacuzino Castle in Bușteni. Built in the early 1900s, this elegant neo-Romanian palace features beautiful gardens, mountain views, and lavish interiors. Today, Peleş Castle welcomes hundreds of thousands of visitors every year, while Bran Castle attracts well over 1 million visitors annually, making it one of Romania's most popular tourist destinations. Then we headed to beautiful Brașov, Romania, one of the most charming and picturesque cities in all of Eastern Europe. Nestled in the heart of Transylvania and surrounded by the towering Carpathian Mountains, Brașov feels like a place straight out of a fairy tale. We visited our friend Crina, who lives in Brașov. In the few hours we had there, we explored the stunning viewpoint of Belvedere, the historic Black Church, Council Square, traditional Romanian cuisine at Strada Turistica, and discovered why this city has become one of Romania's most visited destinations. Our first stop is Belvedere Brașov, arguably the best place to admire the entire city from above. From here you'll see the red rooftops of Old Town, medieval church towers, and the surrounding Carpathian Mountains stretching into the distance. The viewpoint sits about 2,300 feet or 700 meters above sea level and offers one of the most iconic postcard views in Romania. If you're visiting in the morning, you'll often see a layer of mist floating over the city, creating an almost magical atmosphere. Sunset is equally spectacular as golden light illuminates Brașov's colorful rooftops. This is definitely one of those places where you'll want to stop, slow down, and simply enjoy the view. Walking through Old Town Brașov feels like stepping back into medieval Europe. The narrow cobblestone streets are lined with colorful Baroque buildings, outdoor cafes, boutique shops, and centuries-old architecture. Much of what you see today has been beautifully preserved for hundreds of years. Brașov's Old Town was once protected by massive defensive walls and watchtowers built by Saxon settlers. Parts of those fortifications still remain today. Every corner reveals something unique, making this one of Romania's most walkable and photogenic cities. Strada După Ziduri, which translates to street behind the walls, is one of Brașov's most charming and peaceful streets, running alongside the remnants of the city's medieval fortifications. Surrounded by towering stone walls, mature trees, and historic watchtowers, it offers a quiet escape from the busy Old Town and provides a glimpse into Brașov's centuries-old defensive past. Standing before us is Brașov's most famous landmark, the Black Church. Built between the late 1300s and mid-1400s, it's the largest Gothic church in Romania and one of the largest in Eastern Europe. Its name comes from a devastating fire in 1689 that blackened many of its exterior walls. Inside, you'll find impressive vaulted ceilings, one of Europe's largest pipe organs, and a remarkable collection of Turkish carpets that reflects Brașov's historic trade routes. The church remains an active Lutheran place of worship and a symbol of Brașov's multicultural heritage. Brașov is Romania's 7th largest city with a population of about 240,000 people and over 380,000 residents in its surrounding metropolitan area. It sits almost exactly in the center of Romania, about 100 miles or 160 kilometers north of Bucharest. Brașov was founded in the 13th century by Saxon settlers, invited by Hungarian kings to fortify the region. For centuries, it became an important trading hub connecting Western Europe with the Ottoman Empire. Prior to World War I, Brașov was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire and was known by its German name, Kronstadt. The city had a diverse population of Romanians, Germans, Hungarians, and Jews, creating a unique cultural blend that still influences the city today. Following World War I and the 1920 Treaty of Trianon, Transylvania officially became part of Romania. Brașov transitioned from Austro-Hungarian rule into Romanian administration, becoming an important industrial and educational center. Following World War II, Romania fell under Soviet influence and eventually became a communist state. Brașov underwent rapid industrialization with factories producing tractors, trucks, machinery, and aircraft components. Large apartment complexes were built to accommodate workers moving into the city. Everything changed in 1989 when Romania's communist government collapsed. Brașov became one of Romania's major tourist destinations, restoring its historic center and shifting toward tourism, technology, manufacturing, education, and services. Welcome to Council Square, or Piața Sfatului, the beating heart of Brașov. For over 600 years, this square has been the city's gathering place. Markets, festivals, concerts, and public celebrations continue to take place here today. At its center stands Council House, originally built in the 1400s and now home to Brașov's History Museum. The clock tower has become one of the city's most recognizable landmarks. Surrounding the square are beautifully restored buildings painted in pastel colors, creating one of the most picturesque scenes in all of Romania. This is the perfect place to grab a coffee, relax, and simply watch everyday life unfold. The Telecabina Tâmpa is a scenic cable car that quickly carries visitors from the edge of Brașov's old town to the top of Tâmpa mountain in just a few minutes. Once at the summit, you'll be rewarded with breathtaking panoramic views of Brașov's red rooftops, the surrounding Carpathian Mountains, and the city's iconic Brașov Sign, making it one of the best photo opportunities in the region. High above the city sits Brașov's famous sign, often compared to the Hollywood sign in Los Angeles. Perched on Tâmpa Mountain, the massive white letters have become an iconic symbol of the city. You can hike up the mountain, take the Telecabina Tâmpa, or simply admire it from below. The sign serves as a reminder that Brașov perfectly blends urban life with incredible natural beauty. Having a mountain literally rising beside the city center is one of the things that makes Brașov truly unique. No visit to Brașov would be complete without experiencing authentic Romanian cuisine at Stana Turistica Sergiana in Poiana, Brașov. This traditional restaurant recreates the atmosphere of a Romanian mountain sheepfold. Here you'll discover rustic wooden interiors, folk music, and hearty dishes that showcase Romania's culinary traditions. Popular dishes include grilled meats, polenta, smoked cheeses, cabbage rolls known as sarmale, and homemade desserts. Dining here isn't just about the food, it's a cultural experience that transports you into Romania's rural heritage. If you want to experience authentic Transylvanian hospitality, this is a wonderful place to do it. Brașov has become one of Romania's top tourist destinations, attracting well over 1 million visitors each year from around the world. Its combination of medieval history, mountain scenery, incredible food, and easy access from Bucharest make it a must-see destination for travelers visiting Romania. Whether you're interested in history, photography, architecture, hiking, or simply slowing down and enjoying a beautiful European city, Brașov offers something for everyone. Day 2 of our Romania trip is in Bucharest, a city where grand architecture, communist-era history, charming old world streets, and vibrant modern culture all collide in one unforgettable destination. Often called the Little Paris of Eastern Europe, Bucharest surprises visitors with elegant boulevards, enormous palaces, hidden churches, lively cafes, and one of the most fascinating modern histories in Europe. Our first stop in Bucharest was the beautiful King Mihai I Park, formerly known as Herăstrău Park, the largest park in the city and one of the most peaceful green spaces in all of Romania. Originally created in the 1930s and centered around Herăstrău Lake, the park was later renamed in honor of King Michael I, Romania's last monarch who played a key role in the country's history during World War II. At the south end of King Mihai I Park is a striking statue of Charles de Gaulle, one of France's most influential leaders and a key figure behind the Free French government during World War II. The monument was unveiled in 2006 as a symbol of the strong historical and cultural ties between Romania and France, especially during the period when Bucharest was known as Little Paris for its French-inspired architecture and culture. Our next stop was the Arc de Triomphe, one of Bucharest's most recognizable landmarks. Inspired by the famous Arc de Triomphe in Paris, the monument commemorates Romania's victory in World War I and the unification of the country following the creation of Greater Romania in 1918. An earlier wooden version was built shortly after the war, but the impressive granite structure we see today was completed in 1936. Standing nearly 90 feet tall, the Arc de Triomphe has become a powerful symbol of Romanian national pride and independence. Today it serves as the focal point for major national celebrations, military parades, and holiday events, making it one of the most important monuments in the country. As we stood beneath this massive archway, it was easy to appreciate both the history it represents and its place in the heart of modern Bucharest. The Romanian Athenaeum is widely considered the cultural jewel of Bucharest and one of Romania's most beautiful buildings. Located near Revolution Square, this magnificent concert hall was built between 1886 and 1888 in a grand neoclassical style designed by French architect Albert Galleron. It serves as the home of the Georgianescu Philharmonic Orchestra and hosts the internationally renowned Georgianescu Festival. The equestrian statue of Carol I stands prominently in Revolution Square, directly in front of the Romanian Athenaeum and near the former royal palace. The bronze monument depicts King Carol I on horseback, honoring the first king of modern Romania and one of the most important figures in the nation's history. The Memorial of Rebirth is a modern monument located in Revolution Square. It was unveiled in 2005 to commemorate the victims of the 1989 Romanian Revolution, when the communist regime of Nicolae Ceausescu was overthrown after mass protests and violent clashes. Our next stop is the monument of Iuliu Maniu, one of Romania's most important political figures of the 20th century, and a leading voice for democracy and national unity. Maniu played a major role in the unification of Transylvania with Romania after World War I and later became a strong opponent of both fascism and communism. Just steps from Revolution Square stands Kretzulescu Church, one of Bucharest's oldest and most treasured churches. Built in 1722 in the elegant Bran Castle style, it has survived earthquakes, wars, and even plans for demolition during the communist era. Remarkably, this church stood witness to the historic events of the 1989 Romanian Revolution that changed the course of Romanian history. Today it remains a symbol of faith, resilience, and the enduring heritage of Bucharest. Our next stop was Umbrella Alley, one of Bucharest's most colorful hidden gems. Officially known as Pasajul Victoriei, this charming passageway was transformed through a public art project that filled the space with hundreds of brightly colored umbrellas overhead. What started as a creative beautification effort has become one of the city's most popular photo locations. Today it highlights Bucharest's artistic spirit and offers visitors a fun and vibrant break from the city's historical landmarks. A short walking distance from Old Town is the massive Parliament Building, one of the most astonishing buildings in the world and the most iconic landmark in Bucharest. Construction began in 1984 under communist dictator Nicolae Ceausescu as part of his vision to transform the capital into a showcase of socialist power and grandeur. To make room for this massive project, entire historic neighborhoods, churches, and thousands of homes were demolished. Built almost entirely with Romanian materials and labor, the structure contains more than 1,000 rooms, enormous marble halls, crystal chandeliers, and miles of corridors. It's considered the heaviest building in the world and is one of the largest administrative buildings ever constructed. The scale is different to comprehend until you're standing in front of it. Its immense size dominates the city skyline and serves as a powerful reminder of Romania's communist past. Stretching from Parliament Palace is the grand Bulevardul Unirii, leading to the Bucharest Fountains. Ceausescu intentionally designed this boulevard to be longer and wider than the Champs-Élysées in Paris. One of the anticipated attractions was the Bucharest Fountains. We were disappointed to see that it was under renovation when we were there. The fountains usually host colorful evening light and water shows that have become a major tourist attraction. We also visited the famous Hanu Lui Manuk restaurant. Built in 1808, it's one of the oldest operating inns and restaurants in Europe. Built in 1808 by Armenian merchant Manuk Bey, it originally served as a caravanserai, a resting place for traders traveling between Europe and the Ottoman Empire, complete with lodging, stables, and a central courtyard for business and social life. Now transformed into a restaurant, Hanu Lui Manuk serves traditional Romanian and Balkan dishes in a truly historic setting. Whether you're sitting in the courtyard or inside one of the old dining rooms, the experience feels both authentic and timeless. Let's talk Bucharest history. Bucharest first became an important trading center in the 15th century under Vlad the Impaler, the same ruler who inspired the Dracula legend. During the 1800s, the city rapidly modernized with French-inspired architecture, elegant boulevards, and cultural institutions, earning the nickname Little Paris. By the early 20th century, Bucharest had become Romania's political and economic center. Following World War I and the Treaty of Trianon in 1920, Romania gained large territories, including Transylvania, greatly expanding the country. Bucharest became the capital of a much larger Romania and entered a period of prosperity, growth, and modernization between the wars. After World War II, Romania fell under Soviet influence and became a communist state. Bucharest was transformed with massive apartment blocks, broad boulevards, and monumental government buildings. Under dictator Nicolae Ceausescu, huge portions of the historic city were demolished to build massive socialist projects, including the enormous Parliament Palace. In 1989, Romania experienced a violent revolution that ended communist rule. Since then, Bucharest has transformed into a growing European capital with restored historic districts, modern businesses, tourism growth, and a thriving cafe and nightlife culture. Today, Bucharest is roughly 2 million people in the metro area, making it one of the largest cities in Eastern Europe. While smaller than mega capitals like London or Paris, it's larger than many European capitals such as Prague, Budapest, and Sofia, and serves as Romania's undisputed economic and cultural hub. Standing at one of Bucharest's most famous intersections is the beautifully restored Corinthia Hotel. Originally opened as the Grand Hotel du Boulevard in 1873, this landmark was once one of the most modern hotels in all of Romania, becoming the first hotel in the country with electric lighting, running water in guest rooms, and even an elevator. Our next stop was University Square, one of the most important places in all of Romania. While it serves as a busy transportation and cultural hub today, it became internationally known during the Romanian Revolution of 1989 when thousands gathered here to protest against communist rule. Just off University Square stands one of Bucharest's most unusual landmarks, St. Nicholas Russian Church. Built between 1905 and 1909 with funding from Tsar Nicholas II, the church was originally created for the Russian diplomatic community living in Romania. Its 7 colorful onion domes make it completely different from most Romanian churches and give the city a unique architectural surprise. Our next stop was the old town of Bucharest, known locally as Lipscani, and it's one of the most vibrant and historic areas in the entire city. This district dates back to the medieval period when it was the commercial heart of Bucharest, filled with merchants, craftsmen, inns, and trading houses that connected Eastern and Western Europe. Walking through Old Town feels like stepping through layers of history, from beautifully restored 19th century facades and hidden Orthodox churches to buzzing streets filled with music and energy. St. Demetrius Church is one of the historic Orthodox churches tucked within Bucharest's Old Town. Originally built in the 17th century and rebuilt several times over the years, the church has stood through centuries of change as Bucharest grew from a small trading town into Romania's modern capital. The Church of the Stavropoleos Monastery is one of the most treasured religious landmarks in Bucharest. Built in 1724 by a Greek monk, the church is considered one of the finest examples of the distinctive Bran Castle architectural style, blending Romanian, Byzantine, and Renaissance influences. The peaceful courtyard, historic icons, and Byzantine choral music services make it one of the most atmospheric places in the city. One of the most iconic stops in Bucharest is Caru Cubere, a legendary restaurant located in the heart of the old town. First opened in 1879, it originally began as a brewery and quickly became one of the most popular meeting places in the city, attracting writers, artists, politicians, and locals for over a century. Inside, the atmosphere is absolutely stunning, with neo-Gothic architecture, stained glass windows, carved wooden panels, and painted ceilings that make the entire dining hall feel like stepping into a historic European banquet hall. On this day, we had an enjoyable lunch here with our friend Paul. One of the most unique spots is the Van Gogh Grand Cafe, a colorful and artistic restaurant right in the heart of Old Town. From the moment you step inside, it feels like you've entered a living gallery inspired by Vincent van Gogh, with bold colors, creative decor, and walls filled with artwork, style designs across multiple floors. What makes this place especially interesting is how it's built vertically with different levels offering completely different atmospheres. From cozy seating areas downstairs to more open and lively spaces higher up, each decorated with its own artistic flair. Every corner feels intentional, almost like walking through a modern interpretation of a painting. The menu is just as impressive, offering a mix of Romanian and international dishes, along with cocktails, coffee, and desserts that match the creative vibe of the space. Whether you're stopping in for a full meal or just a drink, it's the kind of place where you end up staying longer than you planned. St. Anthony's Church is one of the oldest and most important churches in Bucharest. This beautiful red brick church was originally built in the mid-1500s. For centuries, St. Anthony's Church played a special role in Romanian history. Beginning in the 18th century, the princes and rulers of Wallachia were traditionally blessed here before taking office, making it one of the most significant religious sites in the region. Nearby stands the beautiful CEC Palace, or Casa de Economii și Consemnațiuni. In English, it's Palace of the Deposits and Consignments. Built in 1900, it served as the headquarters of Romania's National Savings Bank. It remains one of the finest examples of Bucharest's elegant pre-communist architecture. Located on Bucharest's historic Victory Avenue, or Calea Victoriei, Zlatari Church is one of the city's most beloved Orthodox churches. The current structure dates largely from the mid-19th century, although a church has stood on this site since the 1600s, serving merchants and craftsmen who worked in the area. Located in the heart of Bucharest Old Town, National Bank of Romania Museum is housed within the historic headquarters of Romania's central bank. The National Bank of Romania was founded in 1880, making it one of the earliest central banks in the world, and its impressive headquarters was constructed between 1884 and 1890. One of the biggest highlights of our trip was Cecilia running in the Bucharest International Half Marathon on our final day in Bucharest. This half marathon has grown into one of Eastern Europe's major running events. The event promotes health, tourism, and international participation while showcasing the city's landmarks. After the race, we headed back to the hotel, checked out, and made our way to the airport. Bucharest continues to grow as one of Europe's most fascinating emerging travel destinations, welcoming millions of visitors each year. Travelers come for the city's history, nightlife, architecture, affordability, and unique blend of old and new Europe. If you have time in your itinerary, take a day to go to some of the castles and visit the beautiful city of Brașov. The best times to visit are spring from April through June and fall from September through October, when temperatures are comfortable and the parks and boulevards are especially beautiful. Whether you come for the food, the history, the culture, or events like the Bucharest International Half Marathon, Romania's capital offers an experience unlike anywhere else in Europe. Thanks for joining us on our Bucharest adventure. Please like, subscribe, and follow along for more travel journeys around the world. Until next time, keep on traveling, and we'll see you in our next video.